Okay, everybody. This is my dungeon. Coming right down the stairs and looking to the left. That's more. Well, that's not much right there. There's a couple large industrial lights in there. I'm just dirtying some shelving back there. Not much right there, but there's a. As you can see, I don't need to tell you what you're looking at, but picked up that pool light. And that's a working Miller Lite pool light. Let's see, right over here. That's just like the only thing down here. Freezer in our dish. Okay, some of this is not organized and some of it is, but I tried to do a little bit. Most of it is not organized at all. The shelving units are underneath those piles right over there. There's like 3 big shelving units, and I'm going to take all these units here, clear them off, of course, and then reorganize all these units into probably like a U shape with the other 3 that I have down there to better utilize my space. But yeah, this is a complete mess, and actually it makes sense to me, as you'll kind of see, because I do have things kind of in order, the best I could, because when we moved it was just like we had to move quickly, and we had so much stuff, there was just nowhere else to put it. So yeah, I'm sure you're just like, oh my god, and every time I come down here I'm like, oh my god. But this is what it is. We have I started putting it in the best order I could. I have there's like boxes of video games under these board games, and there's a lot of things I can purge. Like I said, some of these board games are worthless, some of them are not worthless, some of them are very nice, as you can kind of maybe see by the titles. Those of you that are knowledgeable about board games. And these big boxes here are full of video games. And then here's more board games. Some of them are junk, of course, which is going to help me make this more organized in a hurry, because I am going to purge stuff, and that's going to be a big deal. More video games. Those were out in my small office I used to have in the home I had prior to this. A few of these items are actually listed, and I actually do have a small system. I don't have very much listed, but I do have a few of these items listed. Now, not these, but all my Nerf guns and dollhouse. Let's see. There's more video games under there. Those were lesser video games that aren't worth much, but then there's some nicer older systems, or older video game consoles and stuff up there. Part of a collection I bought that I'll show you over here. Believe it or not, those old things actually sell. I don't know, those of you might know that, those old chairs. Probably put those in the booth. I'll probably put that house in the booth once I get room and have time to get to do that, which I'm making now. These are my rock and roll posters. These are out on my Instagram page. J. Kreider 65. And that's a bunch of models. I bought a lot of those models at an estate sale. I got them for next to nothing at the end of the sale. There's just that's an old rare video game, or old rare games there. There's some, I think there's a bunch of D&D modules in there. I know there is. Those are actually, some of those are listed. That's a table full of a lot of goodies there. There's just piled up. I just need to list the Bibles. that's full of figurines that are valuable. I've got a bunch of hats and just hats everywhere. Sorry for the jerkiness here of the camera. Again, I'm new at this. I apologize. Another Bible. That's a brand new Bible I bought at a garage sale. Anyway, I hope you're getting an idea of the mess that I have here just from looking at this. I'm sure you are. You can't possibly not be. Got my shipping supplies all here. It's quite the mess. There's a lot of electronics and tons of video games over here. I actually do have the ability to move around, but not very good. That's okay. Right over here. These are all video game consoles and video game related items in this on the floor here and stacked up. Like I said, that's how I kind of started out, and I got a lot of video game stuff that should sell pretty quickly once I get it listed. I'm certain. I have no doubt about that. Those are mice and keyboards, 50 keyboards and 50 mice. A lot of that should bring some good money, I believe, on the Apple ones. An old 8-track player. These are all video games in these tubs and boxes. 2 consoles. They're all. There's a mixture of everything in there. Let's see. We'll go back here. That is a wall of baseball cards from when I was a kid. I still have all that collection. I want to just sell all of it. I don't want to dabble in trying to list that stuff because it's just too much. Baseball cards are too much unless I have a specific one. But there's old Christmas ornaments. Those are some valuable Christmas ornaments I want to sell. Got old ball gloves and bats, and that's picked up some golf clubs that bring some good money. More ball gloves, tennis rackets, tents. Let's see, and there's just a little bit of everything. I have a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff, disc golf frisbees. I have a lot of action figures. So there's more hats. I have a big tub of hats. I've got hundreds of hats. I know that. Electronics. That old billiards light. That's old. That's glass and brass. That's old. That's really cool. I picked that up. Sale. There's just a little bit of everything. There's that old style barrel hanging light, bar light. Some old glass. Those old ball hats, autographed. And what's in some of these? I gotta. There's lots of handheld video games. I got lots of the little Nintendo DS's and every other kind of Nintendos. Sony's. There's just a lot of these are full of that stuff. They're just everywhere. There's my underneath those posters, which are just a mess. Those aren't good posters, thank goodness. Are my shelving units. And camera equipment. And that's an old Roy Rogers. That's an old Roy Rogers blanket from the 50s, I believe. I got that on an auction on a website. Cleaned it up. I need to get that. I need to get everything listed. That's really cool, though. When I list things, I'll maybe maybe have to video some of that for you so you can see some of the items that I do have. And the concert t-shirts that are up in our office and the clothing that are up in our office, we keep that, all the clothing and the shoes and the concert t-shirts, vintage concert t-shirts. I have probably 100 vintage concert t-shirts. Those are out on my Instagram site. Not all of them, but by any stretch, but those are up in the bedroom. I wouldn't keep those down here. All of our clothing and shoes and a couple things like that are up there in the office. But this will be cleaned up. So I'm making these videos so you can follow along and see it go from this death trap dungeon of death, whatever you want to call it. Then you can follow me along on that journey and hopefully help hold me accountable to Jason. You know, what is going on with that? So, and my wife wants it done too. So, if that's not enough to hold me accountable, you know, I don't know what is, but it's got to get done. It's got to get done. So, hopefully you will enjoy, you know, seeing if I can get this done. And any comments or words of wisdom on how to tackle this, well, you know, would be welcome. Or just any comments on anything you saw, whatever. I don't care. And if you liked the video at all, if you like just the idea, I don't know. I don't really have an idea. That's not what I meant. But anyway, my the way I got here is a little different from probably other people with buying all this stuff prior to retirement. And you know, the train came off the rails with the plan because of life getting in the way. Like I said, it didn't mean to start out this way, but this is what I'm left with, and then this is just how it is. So I wanted to be completely transparent. I don't have any reason to not be. So, I mean, I just wanted to be I just want to become more a part of our reselling community and share what I have going on. And, you know, share what knowledge I do have. Which, you know, I'm not saying that that's a whole lot, but I have learned a lot from everybody in the community. And anyway, have a great day, and thanks for watching. And if you like it, subscribe. If you're interested, come back and check it out. Thank you.